Beginning in medieval Europe, let's set the scene. Jesus Christ was born 2000 years ago in the year zero or around about then, and that's how we get our calendar in the West. We base it off the number of years have passed since Jesus was born in Nazareth. Now, getting into medieval Europe, say about 1,000 years after the birth of Jesus, there is one dominant church within the continent, and that is the Catholic Church. And actually, prior to the Reformation, people wouldn't have referred to it as the Catholic Church as though it were one option, one type of Christianity among a smorgasbord of choices of Christian denominations. No, it was just the one all-powerful church. And it's difficult for us to get our minds into the believers, get our minds into the space of the minds of believers in this time frame, because just as we see science nowadays as the absolute explanations for the universe, we distrust scientists, we trust experts to tell us how the universe works. So it was with the church back then. So, ranging from everything, we listen to physicists and astronomers to tell us how the universe began and to hypothesize on how the Big Bang Theory led to the universe that we live in today. So too would they have listened to their priests explaining how God created the universe, but even more than that, in a very practical sense. So just as we generally just accepted the vaccines that we were given during the COVID pandemic, very few of us, next to none of us really, will have looked at the vaccines for ourselves, have read through the scientific papers to see if we actually agreed with the science behind them. No, we just listened to the epidemiologists and the vaccine makers who said that these things work and they will prevent us from getting COVID and save our lives. So too did people back in the medieval church listen to priests doling out the Eucharist, which in the Catholic tradition is what people believe to be the body and blood of Christ. So do people just believe that priests had the way of offering people salvation, of giving people life in the next world? Belief was unflinching. Of course, people will have been aware of the existence of Jewish communities, of Muslims on the outside of the Christian world, known as Christendom, and they would have known of heretics, i.e., that is, Christians who disagreed with the certain doctrines that the Catholic Church laid down as law. And all of these people in the European context would have been persecuted and would have been very rare. Say, for example, if somebody living in the 13th century in Europe would have known that Jews existed and would probably have seen them as some sort of a historical anachronism. They would have seen them as just bad people because they believed that the Jews were responsible for killing Jesus Christ, who most people accepted was the Son of God. So belief was just a universal thing, was unquestioning, just in the sense that we are pretty much unquestioning of scientific norms nowadays.